Party people, how's everybody do? First thing I want to do once again, apologize. I got to do something about this cameras over here. How's everybody doing today? I decided that we were going to have a open discussion today. There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things, and I'm not sure what we should focus on next. So I would love for you guys to weigh in and see what you guys want to speak on, so I know what topics, at least from our core audience, that you guys will want to, be a part of or speak on more. Before we get to the actual show, though, I want to say yesterday we had an event over here at Seagate. I had never went to a Seagate event before, actually. I'm going to say a couple of things real quick. First thing I want to say is, if you are in the New York area, you should pull up next time. It is, especially if you're media, also, by the way. But you should definitely pull up next time. They have festivities for the whole community. Everybody is welcome. They're also feeding everybody. There's music. Yesterday, the Brooklyn Nets, we had some Brooklyn Nets representatives here. One of them was Albert King. For anybody who don't know who Albert King is, that's Bernard King's brother, NBA player. Um, so besides that person and a couple of other individuals that were politicians that were out here, councilmen and senators that were out here, they also had other things, opportunities as far as working with the corrections department, apparently. And so talking to the corrections people, and I make a joke. And basically the joke was in regards to, y'all gonna have a lot of gang members applying. She was like, we have a rigorous background checks or whatever. Whatever. The background check or whatever you want a background check, fam. We live in a different day and age now. You know what I came up with this. I was thinking about this idea and shit. I don't know. We might do it, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell y'all. But we live in this day and age where people can just decide what and who they are. They can just decide. We went from saying create, you know, your future into just saying create your past, I guess. Funny note. So Steve Stout was being interviewed, and Steve Stout was asked about Nas at one point. He was asked specifically about the firm and the commission. For everybody that don't know, the firm was Nas, AZ, and Foxy Brown, and the commission was I think Charlie Baltimore, Biggie, and Jay. And so Steve Stout, for everybody that don't know, he's actually Nas's manager. Real quick, this quick story. So when Steve Stout was being interviewed in this interview, he was asked about which group he thought was better. And basically he was shooting at Charlie Baltimore. And at first he thought it was Little Kim that was going against Foxy Brown. And I also want to say this, as incredible as Little Kim was, people forget that Foxy Brown's first album was absolutely insane. When it came out, it hit. I actually bought Foxy Brown's for I'm real big into dark skinned girls. I actually brought Foxy Brown's first album. It was pretty interesting. Anyway, that's a pretty good interview. You should go check it out. He's speaking about different things. But one of the things in which they definitely did point out, how I started telling the story. One of the things in what he did point out that I want to mention right now is that first of all, Biggie and fucking Jay-Z was in a group. Anybody remembers that? But anyway, we got way off track. Let's get back on track. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for sending out Albert King and the beautiful women that were with him. And it seems like whenever anybody wants to get you signed up on something, they send out beautiful women. Smart ideas. Anyway, let's get to some of the actual topics that we have. Nobody commented, so there's no roll call. I'm all over the place. I was questioning whether I was going to do a live this morning. I was, and Got to. You can't. Even when you don't want to show up, you got to show up. So let's get to the show. This is an open discussion today. So anything that you guys want to discuss, put it in the chat early. With that being said, uh, there's a couple of things that I would like to talk about myself today during the show. One is the situation that's going on with Donald Trump. I find that pretty interesting. Myriad of different reasons. I would like to discuss a couple of them with you guys if you would like to discuss them also. Another thing is, so apparently there was a dude, and I just want to mention this because we have a problem, uh, and a big issue I'm gonna say is that our world is so callous now that things just happen and we expect them to happen, and terrible things happen, and it's kind of like we expect them to happen at this point. And so there was a dude, he was driving and he got stopped. I think it was Arkansas or something. I'm not 100% sure, Mississippi or something. And he gets stopped, and apparently he has a dead body in his trunk. And so somebody sends me the story, and I got a little bit of the story. I didn't get all the way into the story. And then I just thought about the concept or the idea of this. And I just need for us to understand something real quick. Uh, we complain about these big cities that we live in. We complain about how dangerous these big cities that we live in are, right? But do you know how dangerous it is to live out in the freaking country? I think sometimes we forget, especially when we live in these big cities, because just as it's dangerous because it's so densely populated, that also adds a level of safety. You don't have to worry about somebody putting a freaking cross on your lawn. You don't have to worry about necessary. You might have to worry about waking up with your house on fire, but uh, so help will get there. It's not going to be in the middle of the woods somewhere. I used to live in the middle of the woods in Georgia. I had two neighbors, fam. Both of them was more than a block away. I understand why some people and just so we could be clear, the young man that was caught driving the car, and just so we could be clear, was that I believe the dead man's car that was in the trunk. It was his car apparently. Dude was doing 73 in a freaking and this is something else that caught me. He was doing 73 in a 45. Could somebody please explain to me how when people how for some strange reason, and this is something that we've all seen in movies and in television shows, and at some point we got to pick up. I know the adrenaline rushes, but why, in some strange reason, when people got the drugs on them, do they hop the train? Why, in some strange reason? Yo, I used to always think that when I was a kid. Like, yo, these dudes, you got the hammer on you, fam, and you just hop in the train. Like, how you doing that? So you got a dead body in your trunk, and you just doing 70 something in a 45? Sometimes I just like to point out how a lot of these issues and things that we go to, even though it's in different parts of the world or different parts of America, a lot of these things come from the same mental illness. A lot of these things come from the same area. You understand what I'm saying? It's just applied differently. And when we really start noticing and focusing on that, I just want to say something. So Romans 2, I believe. Romans 1, Romans 2. I think it's Romans 1. Um, might be Romans 2. So basically, they talk about why we're not supposed to judge others. And so I think, and I've been I've been pondering this for quite some time now. So I think when people think about how you judge others, you're judging their deed. So you're saying, I'm judging what that person is doing because I would never have, I don't know, killed somebody or something like that. You would have never killed somebody. It's not in you. It's not the type of person you are. Unless it was in strenuous circumstances and had to save a life. Boom, got you. But the reason why that person killed someone was over jealousy. So you might not commit that crime of murdering somebody, but you can't judge them because you are a jealous person. That person committed their crime due to jealousy. You're doing other things due to jealousy. So we all suffer, or should I say, all communities, you know what I'm saying, suffer from similar situations because there's just certain things that lead us to demise. So I'm just saying, we gotta be mindful. People be hopping the train where people used to get caught. They have warrants out for their arrest and everything, and they busy running around hopping the train, and they got guns on them and everything. Nigga, you can't walk a couple miles. I be like, yo, I got warrants. I got the hammer on me. Fuck it. We just gotta walk these 4 or 5 miles. You really had to jump on the train, fam? I never understood that. Never understood that. Did y'all hear about the dude that was about to be released out of prison in December 2022? Until he decided to break out 4 months before they were going to release him. Now he's getting 40 years. You hear about that guy? Also, he got caught a kidnapping charge. And apparently, yo, you can get life for kidnapping. I believe that if you kidnap somebody, right, you could potentially get life. I believe that if you kidnap somebody and take them from one state to another, I believe you could possibly get life. Somebody look that up. So anyway, apparently they were going to let him out. He had 4 more months. He already did 6 and change. So he had 4 more months. They was going to let him out. He said, you know what? I'm going to break out early. What in the hell, fam? We got to do better. We got to do better. Young dude, too. I think he's like 20-something or something. He's like young dude. Now he about to go spend 40 years in prison. Somebody convinced him to do something stupid. He's a crash test dummy. Somebody convinced him to do something stupid. You know how they do it. When you're about to get out, sometimes they try to say you got to do something stupid, or somebody run up on you and try to get you involved in the situation. So you already know how it goes. This dude just did something stupid. It was a crash test. Don't let the streets out your kids, man. No, it's not easy and shit. Nobody's trying to say anything is easy. But don't let the streets out your kids. Keep them busy. If you keep them busy, the streets can't get to them. Keep them busy. Which is wild, because check this out. So now they're going to try to make these fast food restaurants. Shout out to Jay-Z. He's one of the people that's one of the main people behind this, apparently. They're going to be making these fast food restaurants now where they're going to have basically no actual workers. It's going to be completely computerized, which is, so where are the kids going to go get their first job? That's what people say fast food restaurants are for, right? Am I correct or am I wrong? Where the kids gonna go get their first job? Shout out to Jay-Z for that. I think Jay-Z got the pizza trucks that's gonna be delivering, the automated pizza truck that you don't need a driver for, or nothing. You don't need the person that makes the pizza, nothing. It just got all the pizza making shit in the building in the truck, I think. And it just drives around. You order, that nigga pull up. So something to be mindful of. Y'all want to talk about Donald Trump yet? We only 15 minutes in. Y'all want to talk about Donald Trump? We could talk about that. I think I lost my charger, fam. I think I lost my charger. Y'all ready to talk about Donald Trump yet? Let's talk about Donald Trump. So as everybody know, Donald Trump is now being what do you call this? Charged again, indicted again. So he's been indicted again. I want to say something, and this is just, I just want to be mindful of this before I even talk about the indictment. I want to be mindful of this. Did you just hear what the president of the United States said about Elon Musk? Elon Musk needs to have an investigation put on him, even though I don't even think he did anything. Because he's doing something else I don't like. Yeah, he's doing something I don't like. Let's put an investigation on Elon Musk. That's basically what the president of the United States said, man. You do know this, right? Y'all know what the president governs over, right? The armed forces, which, as far as I am pretty sure, also envelops our national force, our national protections, because it's about foreign and domestic, right? So now, fuck it. Let's talk about this Donald Trump shit. I just wanted to put it in its appropriate context. I'm pretty sure the Republicans have used the police at times to go after Democratic candidates. I'm never saying that that has never happened before. Don't get this confused. I'm pretty sure it's happened multiple times by both parties. I'm just saying that there's a good chance that that's what's happening right now. And at the same time, there's even a better chance that Donald Trump has actually committed some crimes that needs looked into, because guess what? He's a politician. He's a politician. Yeah, my phone literally fell on the live yesterday. So it got cracked again. And yeah. And if the screen didn't get replaced, I couldn't press the buttons. That's why the screen had to get replaced, by the way. I couldn't press the buttons. So since I couldn't press the buttons, I couldn't use the phone. So the simple fact that I'm using the phone right now is proof that I got the screen replaced, because I couldn't use the phone. Besides the fact that I showed you after I got the screen replaced. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I'll talk for a little while longer, but if the only people that's in here is the people that hate me, fam. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't even want to do a live this morning. So any regard, just so we can be clear, the president of the United States has actually said that they wanted an investigation done to I guess, a citizen of the United States, even though they themselves don't even believe that they committed a crime. I don't know why no one else thinks that that's insane. I don't know why no one thinks that that's insane. But that's like literally insane. Shout out to Nick the Slick. Dude, if I didn't get my screen replaced, I wouldn't be able to press the buttons, man. I wouldn't be able to press the buttons. We wouldn't be able to do it live. I literally have a person who, remember when we went down to the Samsung store? That's literally what they told us. Remember? and my buttons was fucked up. They literally told us that at the Samsung store. I came outside. I told Lee I was at the Samsung store. I had to get the screen replaced. And then it got worse. Shout out to Nick the Slick. He said, shout out to Donald Trump. Good morning, BB and gang. For a salute. Appreciate you dropping a comment. I just don't live in the real world. I just don't live in the real world. So Donald Trump is being indicted once again. I want to be clear about this. At this point, I don't really care what they're indicting him for. I'm going to be clear. Their whole thing is they're indicting him to try to create a situation so that he won't be able to run for president. But guess what happens every single time they indict him? Do you want to know what happens every time they indict him? His numbers go up. His numbers go up. Every time they indict him, the numbers go up. Hate is crazy and hate is wild because you can only lie for but so long. That's why when people lie on you, they have to keep going and lying to different people, because if they stay lying to that same person over and over and over and over again, you're going to see the cracks. You're going to understand this person is just lying. So what liars have to do is liars have to move from one person to another person to another person telling those lies. You understand? So I don't care what they're saying he's doing at this point. What it's looking like is that they're persecuting him. That's what it looks like. And people with a heart, when they see somebody being persecuted, they stand by them. Tori Mosey says, Trump like 6ix9ine straightway run. You either watch him gain popularity or add to it by hating. There's nothing you can do about it, fam. Because when people that got a heart see you hating on a good person, or even if it's not even a good person, when people with heart that got a heart see you hating on somebody, they don't jump on your side. They recognize what that is. You understand? These are just facts. So Trump's numbers are going up. And apparently, I think even if, no matter how many times he's indicted, he can still run. I found something interesting. So remember the Island Boys? So they just came out. They was kissing each other or something. I don't know. I don't really care. I didn't think anybody I assume we all already knew that they do things together. I want to say something real quick. Some people aren't what people consider gay to be gay. They're not gay. They just will do anything. That's these island dudes. So he's saying he's a top, he's not a bottom, yada yada, whatever the hell he's saying. He's just a soul that would do, he don't got no soul. He's just a body. It'll do anything. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the people that sleep with animals. You understand what I'm saying? They'll just do anything. That's why I understand why, but anyway, they'll do anything. So he'll do anything. I don't consider what the hell he is gay or straight, but hold on to this point. So the Island Boys just came out and did that. Why did he do that? Obviously, he did that for a reason. I don't know why he did that, but I'm assuming he was told to do that at some point for some reason, or somebody was going to out them. One of the two, right? Y'all know why they called the Island Boys, right? They called the Island Boys because they was on Dude's Island, Epstein's Island. That's why they called the Island Boys. The dude know this, right? They were little kids running around Epstein's Island. I don't know who didn't know that, so I'm just letting you know. So the reason in which why I'm saying that is this. Do you understand that if Donald Trump actually gets back into the office, what the Justice Department is going to do to the... Do you understand why these dudes is probably crapping in their pants, doing everything they can to try to sully this man's name and talk shit about him? Do you understand why night and day they don't want to miss one moment in order to try to make this man look bad? I'm saying let's pay attention to that behavior. So, with all due respect, tell me the topics that the Democrats actually speak about. What do the Democrats actually talk about when they talk about making America better? What do they talk about? Does any of their talks have anything to do with helping the common man? Usually it doesn't. It has something to do with helping selected groups. Tell me where the lie's at. Tell me where the lie's at. There's groups out there that are selected groups, and usually their conversations or when they're having their, their time at the podium, they're usually speaking about helping those selected groups. Tell me where I'm wrong. Many of these selected groups are not even Americans. Tell me where I'm wrong. Many of the things that America says that they're going to do seems to consistently be overseas. Tell me where I'm wrong. Not in any one specific country either. It's always something to do with just a different continent. If it ain't Africa, it's Europe. If it ain't Europe, it's Asia. Tell me where the lie at. Shout out to Level Up Salute. He says, do you think Trump will serve any jail time behind any of these indictments? I think they're going to have to whoa Nelly on most of this stuff at one point. And the reason being is because some of these things that they're saying Trump did wrong is shit they all do. You do know this, right? They said Trump took papers out of the White House. All presidents do that. You think when these presidents talk about they've been at, I don't know, Martha's Vineyard or wherever the hell they be going. I think that's where they be going. They be like, yo, we've been at Martha's Vineyard for 3 weeks. You think they didn't have paperwork with them that they had to go over and stay knowing what's going on in America? Or do you think they just went down there and shut completely off and then they don't know nothing? So a lot of these things that they actually charged them for, and this is not me trying to defend Trump. This is just me saying what it is. This is me trying to point out something totally different that everybody needs to be paying attention to. We shouldn't be voting for either which one of those two people, Trump or Biden. We should be looking for a whole new individual to be elected. That's what we should be doing. I feel I got to say that more because when I don't say that enough, people tend to think that I'm saying that I'm supportive of, one or the other. I don't like neither one of these guys. I will 100% agree that we did better when Trump was president. Everybody had money. That's a fact. That's not debatable. And it has nothing to do with him giving out checks either. It's why the economy was moving. Level Up says it seems like his political base grows stronger for him every time they try to bring him down. That's a fact. Now hold on, listen, pay attention to this. People keep saying, yo, y'all just like Trump because Trump gave away checks. I want to explain something to you. Trump was putting money in the hands of people who spend money. I'm not just talking about the checks. I'm talking about the way the economy was moving. The middle class that generally would fuel our economy because they would have the rich people don't really spend their freaking money. We all know this. And the poor people don't really got money to spend. It's the middle class that should be fueling our economy. The middle class generally should have more people in it that if they didn't spend money, they could become rich, rather than more people in it that if they spent a little bit more money, they would become poor. That's actually what the problem is. Anyway, that's a discussion for a different day. So basically, the middle class did better under Trump. And since the middle class did better under Trump, they treated themselves. When the middle class starts treating themselves, there's more opportunities, there's more jobs, and there's more opportunities for the people who are in the poorer people. Also, the middle class is more free with their money. Now they're sponsoring this. They're putting their money towards helping that. They're putting their time and their energy towards doing this. Now everybody's stressed. Tell me where the lie at. The price on everything is going through the roof. When Trump was in office, the numbers was down. You could feed yourself with less money. Tell me where the lie's at. Did y'all hear about the farms that burned down or some shit like that in the Netherlands? Like the Netherlands, like some farms was destroyed. And the Netherlands is like one of the countries that has some of the biggest exports of I guess, whatever, foods that they export out to other countries or whatever the case might be. I guess produce. I mean, I don't know. But so they had a whole bunch of farms that were destroyed over there. And over here in America, for the last couple of years, we had a lot of farms that were being destroyed. Oh, also, if everybody remember, they had the farms that was burning. They had the cattle. They said that they had to destroy because the cattle got sick. Remember? Now food is through the roof. Who told y'all food was going to go through the roof 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I told y'all food was going to go through the roof. Another reason why food is going through the roof, because to feed livestock is more expensive now. And since it's more expensive to feed livestock, that means that the price for livestock has to go up, obviously. Just saying. Jason Elliott says, everyone, including businesses, are stressed because the interest rates on those loans they are taking out have come due and they are all beyond the budget they are set to pay back. Wow, that's a pretty good point. I'm pretty sure that that's happening also. Which loans are you talking about? Because most of those loans was forgiven, like 90-something%, like 94% of those. Which loans are you talking? But you are bringing up a great point, because I'm pretty sure that some people are or have and are going through what you just explained. But also, just in general, the cost of living went through the roof. Tell me where the lie's at. Cost of living went through the roof, man. The politician in the hood that starts going out and getting those grants and those whatever from the government and start bringing free food, government issued food to the hood to just give out is the politician that's going to win and be the next leader. I'm telling you. Because the way the world is going, especially America, is moving differently. People are being more observant of what people are actually doing. You understand what I'm saying? These politicians aren't going to win the way that they've won previously. Often the way politicians win is by promising you something, they're not giving it to you, by distracting you with another thing. So that's often the way politicians, like, I'll give you a great example. Let's say I'm in here doing whatever I do. Let's say I'm in here doing what up, Mouse? Let's say I'm in here doing whatever I do, and somebody come in here to argue with me, and I prove their argument to be wrong. So they just start talking about something else that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. That's what they do. They say we're gonna promise you this, promise you this, promise you that. Then they get elected, and then when you like, yo, where is that thing you're gonna promise me? They say, yo, look at all of those things over there. That's bad. We better do something about it. Miles Morales says, I also heard you say that 2 years ago. I said this shit 2 years ago. I've been telling y'all that this was gonna happen. I've been telling y'all to be prepared. Fam. Tori Mosey says, I'm in the staffing industry, and there's been a decrease in funding in many industries. There's been a recession for over a year, but the government hasn't confirmed it because it would tank stocks. The government can't confirm it anyway because the government created it. Why would the government confirm some shit they created? Like, they don't want us to look at that. The government created the problem. The government created it. We didn't have these issues, and I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not trying to, but realistically speaking, did we have these issues when Trump was president? Give me 1 second. So you've listened to 1,000 YouTubers something years ago? Also, I didn't say I was the only person that said it. So are you trying to put words in my mouth? Trying to make me say that I'm saying something I'm not saying? Because I never said I was the only one that said it. I'm pretty sure somebody else also was smart enough to know that that was happening. I'm just trying to say this was a community that was in the loop. I know that you can't understand that because that takes common sense, I guess. Common sense. You thought I was saying that I was the only person on the planet that was saying. Oh man, just fam. They always do that though. They always throw a compliment and then say something weird. I just acknowledge them because that account was in here before with that name, similar names. Miles Morales is the Ultimate Spider-Man, but they changed all that shit up. Anyway, in any regards, but they always do that. They come in here, try to compliment me, try to make me think that, you know what I'm saying. That's why I usually say whenever somebody come in, they compliment me, and I don't know the name, don't trust them. So, basically, if Donald Trump was to win again, those guys are gonna be in trouble. Those guys are gonna be in big trouble. I didn't say he was talking about PPP loans. I didn't say anything about PPP loans. You just think I'm talking about PPP loans. I'm not even talking about any loans. He's talking about loans. I'm talking about the economy. Yo, come on, fam. Like, these are the comments I'm gonna get today, fam. As far as the PPP loans go, yes, 90% of those have been. That's why I said he couldn't have been talking about those. Just talking about, but I'm talking about the economy in general. I'm not even talking about loans. I'm talking about the economy in general. I'm not talking about loans. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna help you out the door though. I'm talking about the economy in general. Okay, so because you don't have any kind of, because you're slow. I was just talking about the farms, was I not? I was literally just talking about the farms. And then I was literally just talking about the middle class, upper class, and lower class, the poor class, right? So I've been talking about the economy this whole entire time, right? I literally at one point even, I believe, said, I'm not talking about the loans, even before he mentioned that, correct? Okay. I told you, they try to change the concept so they could make me seem like I'm talking about something I'm not talking about. Anything y'all guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. This is obviously, I probably shouldn't have went live this morning. Anything else y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. I'll give y'all a second. All right, we out. Everybody just enjoy your day, fam. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bumps Bumbles. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgot you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.